really like using a light gauge metal, get an 18 gauge metal indent.
So it's the same plastic corner components as we showed in the 90, they're just in a 45. But we pre-built these couple sections just to speed things up a little bit. The 45-degree bracing detail and setup detail is actually a loose leaf piece in your folder. We do have new manuals that haven't been printed yet, which include that drawing. We keep going through manual revisions where we take out drawings and we need those back in, and we put them back in. And anyway, the newest manual actually has them in, but the ones that you have at your desk here do not. But that's why we just put a couple of the drawings in loose leaf form in the folder. So if I was building down my wall, just like you see here, if this was a real world application, of course we just put the 45-degree corner right on a full panel. I wouldn't have landed on a full panel most likely in the field. I would have had to cut a splice piece there, and we will show cutting a splice. Certainly could do it right now. Yep. Jerry will just cut kind of right on the floor on a couple pieces of panel. So we'll go through and show a splice piece now. But if I did have a splice here, of course I would set my corner in place, and then I would measure at the very bottom of my wall from corner to next poly panel to see what my dimension is there. So as close down to the footing as you can get to measure the splice piece. And then what we'll normally do is knock off about a 1/16 of an inch from what your measurement is there, just to allow so that your splice doesn't end up too big and start pushing your corner where you not exactly where you want it.
You push that metal 45 or?
We certainly can. It's not necessarily needed. It's just there's a lot of things when you build with probably when you build with just about anything, but especially with ICFs, a lot of things that can speed the process or make it easier and better, and that's just one of them. So it's not necessarily needed. We could have a wood brace there instead, just cut a couple 2x6s on a 45 and screw those together and put it on. But with this metal corner, when you do build it on the ground and then stand it up like Jerry just did there, instead of building it in place, that just helps out a lot, and it keeps everything nice and plumb and true. And when I wrap around with a brace to hold everything plumb, it's nice to screw to. So we certainly can provide it. Okay, so cutting a splice. Jerry's just cutting one panel, looks like right in half. So just use that rib guide that comes with the circular saw. Just put a pencil mark right on your panel, set it down, cut through. Like I said, it almost cuts all the way through, but it won't go all the way through, which is actually kind of nice because you can throw that panel right down on the stone or dirt, cut your splice. Now here's where that rasp comes in handy because you get that little edge on there from snapping your panel. You just knock that edge down if you wish. And then put your groove back in.
If you don't have a block, you can just reset your guide.
Yeah, you could just have another guide on another circular saw or just reset if you only have one for the splice. Jerry's has the block screwed on there, so it's always ready for grooving. And there you go, that's a splice piece. So it's quick, easy, and again, strongest part of the wall because it's just not as wide of a panel.
Yep. For repeat contractors, if you're interested, I make outlier